Welcome back to the Sega CD. Welcome back to Press the Start button. Welcome back to Copyright 1993 Sega version 2.00. Welcome back to Sonic, telling you that this is produced or under license from Sega Enterprises Limited. Alright, so next we are taking a look at the third pack-in that came with my Sega CD back then. The Sega Classics Arcade... Oh, that reset. Does that happen automatically if I don't do anything? If I don't press anything? I don't know. Well, this is the Sega Classics Arcade Collection. Should I just, like, move the cursor around so it doesn't do that? There are 4 games. Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Columns, and The Revenge of Shinobi. So yeah, the Sega CD I bought did come with 6 games. Though I already had 3 of them on the Genesis. I had Golden Axe, Columns, and Revenge of Shinobi. I had not played Streets of Rage before getting the Sega CD. So, you might ask, are these games enhanced in any way? And the answer is not really no. It is kind of just a collection on a disc. Yeah, I guess it does reset if I just don't do anything. Didn't realize that. There's also a version of this disc that came out later that had a 5th game, Super Monaco GP. We'll take a look at that, but for right now, we'll take a look at this 4-in-1 disc, starting with Golden Axe. Now, Golden Axe, on this disc, there's 2 things about it. One, it kind of got an enhancement, sort of, in that the soundtrack is not the Genesis's FM synth. Rather, it's Red Book tracks, recordings of the arcade's FM synth, which it sounds a little better, I think, than the Genesis iteration. It's kind of odd that they did that. But as far as is this a better version of Golden Axe than the Genesis version, it's actually worse because my understanding is that it's only 1 player. Now, I can't test that myself because, well, I'm only 1 person, only 1 controller. But every source I looked up says that this is not 2-player, which is strange because the Genesis version certainly was. Why would this not be 2-player? I don't know. I mean, if you're only playing it by yourself, it doesn't matter, but if you're expecting a 2-player beat-em-up, you'll be disappointed. And we can take a look at the intros, the attract mode. We saw Axe Battler, who does not use an axe, he uses a sword. Ow! Here's Tyrus Flare. Tyrus equals Flare, the Amazon. Her father and mother were killed by Death Adder. You might notice a pattern here. A lot of people's families and loved ones being killed by Death Adder. Gilius Thunderhead, the dwarf, was the character I always used. So he has the strongest attack, but weakest magic. Tyrus has weakest attack, but strongest magic, and Axe Battler is the middle one. Gilius equals Thunderhead, the dwarf. His brother was killed by Death equals Adder. I thought that they showed Death Adder after that. Like, they showed the 3 characters, and then they would eventually show Death Adder. Maybe they will. We'll give it a second. So, this game coming as a pack-in with the Sega CD. Again, the system was $300. So, they gotta give you something to play on this thing. So you have Soul Feast, you have Sherlock Holmes, and you have this 4-in-1 disc. And if you didn't already have these Genesis games, hey, they're a good time. Ow. I don't know if we're gonna see Death Adder's portrait. This is just Axe Battler again. Yeah, I guess we're not. We'll start a game then. Alright, arcade, beginner if I want to practice, the duel, which is like a one-on-one fighting thing. What are the options? Life meter? Yeah, extend my life meter. We'll play the arcade. And I will pick Gilius. Death Adder invaded the castle and has taken the king and princess prisoners. My good friend Alex was also killed in the battle. To defeat them and to bring peace to the land is my duty. Alright, let's fulfill our duty. And we're gonna do that by swinging our axe and throwing dudes. Like ramming dudes with our helmet. Now that voice sample when they die, I don't think that was in the Genesis one. It's been a while. Could be wrong, but I feel like that's a Sega CD thing. I don't know if that's... I wouldn't say it's an improvement. You hear the same one every time. There's a gnome. Gonna kick him. Get his magic potions. So my magic meter up in the corner. I have level 2 magic right now, if you want to see what that is. Gilius is lightning magic. That lady's riding an animal. I can take it. There we go. Yeah. So Golden Axe, popular arcade game. I played quite a bit of it on the Genesis, as well as Golden Axe 2. It's been a while, though. I don't have to keep the animal, but you know. Okay, now it's running away. It'll do that when you get knocked off too many times. But it's probably just faster to fight him like this. We sleep by our campfire, and here's a gnome looking to rob us, but we're gonna rob him. We're gonna kick his magic out of him. We're on our way to Turtle Village. Our sworn enemy Death Adder is in his castle. We'll take a shortcut through the Turtle Village. Enemies can just kind of fall off of ledges like that, which is a fun thing to do. Ah, that guy's just not falling down. There we go. Oh, the people are running. Their village has been invaded. They're running from that. I can understand that they're running from that. Yeah, if you can get him right on the edge of your attack, then you don't do the follow-up, so you just kind of keep comboing them and they don't fall over. Right, that's his level 3 magic. His most powerful magic. There's a green gnome. He has food. Delicious food. I don't know how Gilius would get food if it wasn't from gnomes attempting to rob him in the night. He doesn't have a food source. I mean, I don't know, maybe the people of the Turtle Village fed him in thanks of ridding their village of Death Adder's minions. The village was on the back of a giant turtle. I like how he draws the turtle. It's a nice drawing. I mean, this is why they call it Turtle Village. There's the turtle's head. Turtle don't want any of this business. Look, Death Adder or whatever, it's all the same to him. That's not the button I meant to press, but tapped the A button, which used the magic. Well, okay, never mind. Deb. This guy's coming out of Deb. What were they doing in Deb? Death Adder's minions love frequenting Deb. Yep, took too long. Dragon's running out of here. Here comes a knight. This is a big knight. So, I mean, if you wanted to, kind of like the easiest thing to do is just keep doing this over and over. It'll take a while to actually beat him, though. But the ramming headbutt is pretty reliable. So many gnomes. We have gone in close to the vicinity of the castle. The way was blocked by enemy lines. We must dare the Fiend's path to reach the castle. You never want to have to take the Fiend's path. we go up on the Fiend's Path, which has a lot of feathers on it. And skeletons coming out of the ground. I guess if you die, you just automatically get recruited for Death Adder's army. You get drafted. They didn't tell you that's how it was going to be. You get killed by Death Adder's army, now you have to be in it. Isn't that just the way? Now we have shadow dudes. They're like dudes, but tougher, because they're shadows. Now skeletons and shadows combined. That night, once again, gnomes. The gnomes just know. They're just following us. Just following us, waiting for their chance. Or maybe they want to help us, but they're playing hard to get about it. I'll give you magic and food, but you have to beat me up for it. I'm just gonna give it to you. The Fiend's Path was a great eagle! See, drawing it right there, that's the eagle. Taken across the skies to the castle. Now the final battle begins. Turns out the Fiend's Path was the right way because it was a big bird. Down here. Come on. Come on. Thank you. And here's the bird. There it is. I mean, I guess the bird must be on our side if it flew us here. It's where we wanted to go. continue. Alright, well that was the last one. Wasn't sure if there were more after that. Alright, time to fight Death Adder. I always thought the weapon that this particular guy used looks like he was holding a big raspberry. I mean, that would not make sense. This would look just what it looked like to me. Well, here's the big man. Wielding the golden axe. Right, he does have magic himself. Death Adder falls. And down come the king and queen. Accept my utmost gratitude for our rescue. I thank you for your courage. You have rid us of the hideous Death Adder. But I have a feeling that he might have been taking orders. Sometimes he did disappear into that door. Will you go into battle for me yet once more? Yes, my lord, I will come play. Alright, so that's where the arcade game would end. For the Genesis version, they added a bonus level. because I guess they thought the game was kind of short. Which it is. So here we are with Stage 7. Who is the man behind Death Adder? An even deathier adder? Well, that's no good. There we go. So, dudes can just... It's pretty easy for dudes to just fall off. But, I mean, it's also easy for them to knock us off. So you gotta be careful. Thank you. Oh no, the statue's alive. How can this be? Here's Deathbringer. He's the real last boss, and this is where it ends here, because if I remember right, I'm not going to beat him. He is so much harder than Death Adder. For one, I'm pretty sure those skeletons can't be killed. So you can never actually get yourself alone with Deathbringer. He's always going to have his skellies. I'm trying to get to him, but this skeleton is just on me. And he also has magic. He has a lot of magic. Right, like when he hits you with his axe, I believe he always will do a magic attack to follow it up. Pity there's no pit to make the make people fall down, as that was very useful earlier in the level. Fortunately, there's no time limit, so you can spend as much time as you need to try to do this. Oh, hey. And he was killed with his own axe. Thank you, gallant one. Now the people will be able to live. To build and to prosper in peace. May you be titled the Savior of our kingdom. Now prepare for a grand feast. We praise your acts of bravery and deeds of courage. You swung that axe so good. You swung it so good. Finally, you have defeated all of the evil clan. The land shall revive in peace, and the people will talk of your deeds as a legend in the years to come. Finn. Let's look at the cast. It's Henninger of different colors. They all have the same height and weight because, sure, they're the same guy. So yeah, Golden Axe, short game, it's fun. I played it quite a bit. Henninger Dark has mysterious weight, and bronze is heavier. It makes sense because he is bronze. Don't forget about Longmoan. You never want to forget about Longmoan. Which color Longmoan is the most dangerous? So yeah, it's a fun game. You can, bang it out in like a half an hour. Don't forget Scorchanaya and Strobaya. Okay, those are not the same person. They are different people. They have different names. Same height and weight, though. And Lemonaya and Grazia. And Skeleton. Skeleton's here, too. The Bad Brothers and Lieutenant Bitter. The Bad Brothers just know how to have fun. Sergeant Malt and Sergeant Hop. Oh, they have ranks. They're sergeants. And then there's Colonel Bitter. I guess it's the same guy, but he got promoted. General Heartland and General Bitter. And Chicken Leg. His specialty is the wagging tail. Blue Dragon and Red Dragon are also here, with Flame and Fireball. Blue Thief and Green Thief, they got pot and meat. Some people might say that's all you really need in life. Here's Villager A and Villager B. They're running. Look at them run and scream. They do that. Death Adder Jr. I think you fight him if you pick beginner mode. And there's regular Death Adder, who we fought. And the evil Deathbringer. And don't forget Axe Battler, Tyrus Flare, and Gilius Thunderhead. Don't ask about Tyrus Flare's weight. It's rude. And there's King and Princess. There they are. We don't know what their heights and weights are. And here's the staff. Axe Battler and Tyrus Flare are just having a nap, while Gilius and Longmoan play some baseball. But of course, Tyrus would go on to be in her own solo game. Was that the PS2 or PS3? I forget which generation that was. I never played that one. Kane on the visual effects. So, you know, I don't remember this for sure. I'm pretty sure that the arcade in the ending in the arcade version was kind of different. I seem to remember the ending being like the enemies coming out of the arcade machine and attacking the players. Is that how that happened, or am I just having a false memory there? Vinyl Boy was the assistant. Don't forget about Khan. Director Bros 400. 400 Bros directed this. Opa Opa, star of his own video game, worked on this. Don't forget about Nia on the English messages. And Sugu. The arcade game design was by Team Shinobi. And presented by Sega. Well, this is only one of the 4 games. End. They use their magic to tell us it's the end. This is only one of the 4 games. We're not going to play through all of them, of course. I didn't actually expect to play through all of Golden Axe. But we did. Total score, 210.7. I used 10 players. My strength is 51.0. I don't know what that means. Okay, that's what that means. It means I get a grade of A. If I got 60, I would have gotten an A+. Golden Axe officially ranks my strength. It is 51.0. Alright, so we can't just go back to the main menu. We have to fully reset the game to do that. So that's one of the 4. Golden Axe is good. It's not that much to it, but it's a good fun time. Then there's Streets of Rage. So of these 4 games, this is the one that I've played the least, because the other 3 I had on the Genesis before the Sega CD. The city was once a happy, peaceful place, until one day, a powerful secret criminal organization took over. This vicious syndicate soon had control of the government and even the police force. The city has become a center of violence and crime, where no one is safe. Amid this turmoil, a group of determined young police officers has sworn to clean up the city. Among them are Adam Hunter, Axel Stone, and Blaze Fielding. They are willing to risk anything, even their lives, on the streets of rage. I can't believe the criminals own the cops. Here's Adam. He likes to box and bonsai. And Blaze likes lambada and judo. Axel Stone, he likes video games and martial arts. Time to be angry on the streets. Let's see. Let's go with normal. Alright, we have 3 characters to choose from. Adam, who has power A, jump A, speed B. Axel with power A, jump B, speed A. And Blaze with power B, jump A, and speed A. And we'll go with Blaze. Round 1 start. By the pine pot. Alright, we can summon this. The game's version of magic. The cops come and fire a bazooka. So 2 beat-em-ups on the 4-in-1 that would come with the Sega CD. Beat-em-ups were a popular genre, and Sega did make a few of those. Phone booth apple. So you may notice it says press 2 up start in the upper right-hand corner. So I think unlike Golden Axe, this version of the game does support a second player. We cannot destroy that. You know this guy's bad when he's roaming the streets with a boomerang. You have to be pretty tough to do that. So you might wonder, why are our characters fighting on the streets of Rage? Well, we read in the intro that crime has taken over the city under the evil Mr. X. So, you know, things are pretty cut and dry and simple when it comes to this city. There's a guy, Mr. X, who is responsible for the bad things in the city, and we have to fight our way through the city and get into his high-rise and beat him up, and then everything's gonna be okay. The simple world of the beat-em-up. If we can just get good enough at martial arts to fight our way across the city and beat up the guy who's responsible for this, we can solve all the problems. But I mean, if we know the ultimate folly of this, that such a peace cannot last forever, hence why there is a Streets of Rage 2 and Streets of Rage 3. If the only reason that the city is peaceful is because you beat everyone up, I mean, it's a busy job. It's hard to maintain that. Oh no, Mr. X's gang has a juggler. But he could not juggle that. Oh, this man's juggling axes. Is there no end to what these criminals won't juggle? on the mean streets, if you are tall and you got claw gloves, that goes a long way to getting you respect. Mr. X says, I like how tall you are. I like those gloves. I'll give you a job. Keeping the streets under my thumb, my corrupt thumb. All right, now we're on the beach, where crime is at its thickest. Not just the streets, but the sands of rage. Get some tire money. But did not actually mean to press it that time. That's fine. Beach food. Oh no, pro wrestler, it's specifically the Ultimate Warrior on the beach. Unusual to see the Ultimate Warrior. Usually, in this era of games, when you would have unlicensed wrestlers appear, frequently they would either be based on Hulk Hogan or the Road Warriors. Those were common things to see in beat-em-ups. Alright. Not sure where this is supposed to be. Are we at the docks? Yep. You know, when I'm tapping B, sometimes my finger goes over to A. Just having a snack in the middle of a brawl. As you do on the Streets of Rage. Juggler is a lot easier with a weapon. And it's a fat, fire-breathing man. Not Karnov. He just wants to be Karnov. And this is not a Data East game, so it couldn't be Karnov anyway. Alright, clearly jump kicking him is the way. Oh, double KO. We can just start from here. All right, now we're on a boat. We are for all of the martial arts that the goons are exhibiting. These men are truly know the most deadly of all arts, just holding a knife out in front of you and walking forward. It'll beat most styles. Smuggling the illicit money in the boat. Are there any depths that Mr. X will not sink to? Like the idea that when these women wake up in the morning, they put on their dominatrix outfits. Like you put on your work clothes when you get up in the morning. You're gonna go to the office, going out to the job. You got your work clothes separate from your relaxation clothes, your home clothes. They don't wear the dominatrix outfits at home. This is their professional gear. So many men jumping onto the boat. Yep, almost got to the meat. Oh, the warrior's back. Can't believe the warrior would take money from Mr. X. I mean, I guess if you take money from Vince McMahon, you'll take money from anyone, won't you? Yep. The finger hit the wrong button again. Oh, it's two doppelgangers. But we're not here to play Fast Blast. I can't believe Mr. X has mastered cloning technology to clone his enemies. I am having a tough time. Well, we defeated our doppelgangers, not through martial arts, but through police bazookas. Whatever works. And now we're going to the factory. What factory? What do they make here? Gold, I guess. Caution. It's unsafe to fight on the factory floor. We should not be doing this. Oh, I got machined. Oh, I was not able to suplex him. He's too big. Is this on a timer? Well, if it is, I walked into it both times. Well, maybe it's just when people step on it. It does seem to be working for the enemies as well. No, jumping into it doesn't work either. That juggler isn't juggling anything. I mean, I guess if they want to keep running under it, I guess they can. Two clawmen? How can this be? It's not going well. Not sure how to approach them. It seems like that when I'm comboing them, they can break out of it. And approaching them with a jump kick is resulting in me getting slashed as well. I don't know how that worked. Round 7, we're going up the building in the elevator. Don't know how to get them to go off the side. Like, a couple of them have now and again, but usually they just kind of hit the edge of the elevator. Ah, I was wondering where the car would come from. There we go. All right, we're going on inside. What a fancy apartment. Oh no! Getting attacked by a serving table? This is like Nightcry. Supernatural events are afoot in Mr. X's penthouse. Numb. Oh no, Boomerang Man has returned. He wants a second chance to prove Mr. X that Boomerang is the way. he did not prove that Boomerang was the way. Mr. X is so disappointed. Clawman has returned. I have a bad track record against Clawman. And I guess it's only fitting that that's how this would end. Alright, well, that's our go at Streets of Rage. The version on the Sega Classics Arcade Collection. One of the pack-ins with the Sega CD. I believe that we almost made it to Mr. X, but we didn't quite get there. And like I said, I do believe that this version of the game does support 2 players. So, if you had someone with you, with your Sega CD, you did have a 2-player option. The third game is Columns. You probably know Columns. There's really not too much to say about Columns. So the Sega CD version does have a title theme. The Genesis version did not have that. I believe that is the only change. That is like the only difference here. I played Columns a lot, actually, when I was a kid. Not to say that I'm good at it. I used to be okay. I don't expect I would be now. It's been a very long time. But this is Columns. A falling blocks puzzle game by Sega for the Genesis. Falling block puzzle games, hey, they were popular. And, you know, as far as those go, as far as when you're talking about falling block puzzle games that were not Tetris, it's alright. Control's fine. Like, it's just kind of more limited than many of them might have been, since all of the shapes are vertical. Like, you're not talking about shapes, you're just talking about what colors are the shapes made of. Whoops. Did not mean to put it down there. And the theme's good. There's some nice music. It's not the only theme the game has, but it's the default one, so it's the one that most likely you would have heard. That didn't work. But considering how often Sega would re-release Columns in some sort of package, some sort of Genesis compilation, they don't actually try to continue the franchise. I mean, I believe there was a Columns 2. but it's not like Sega is making a modern Columns. Well, I mean, you know, you could always try to get what, Mizuguchi? I think I'm forgetting the name. Made Tetris Effect, and recently the new Lumines. Why not try to get him for a new modern take on Columns? I'm sure there must be some people out there chomping at the bit for a resurrection of Columns. It's alright. You know, it's kind of a nostalgic feeling game for me. Not something I would spend much time with now. But I did play quite a bit of it. At the time. There's a different title screen. Well, we probably don't really need to look more at Columns. But, you know, it's a falling blocks puzzle game in your 4-in-1 collection for the Sega CD, if you were in the mood. Just a little variety from your beat-em-ups. We already do have 2 beat-em-ups. And our 4th game is what I think is the best game of the package, Revenge of Shinobi. I played this one quite a bit as a kid. I remember it being hard, so I don't expect I'll do well now, but I did beat this game a number of times. So this is an updated version of the game. I don't think it has Batman in it. I think that's removed. But you saw the copyright for Spider-Man, so he is still in the game. A well-known cheat. Pick 0 shurikens and wait a bit. And it turns into an infinity sign. So now we have infinity shurikens. Kind of odd that that's such an easy, well-known cheat for this, considering that eliminates the need to get most of the power-ups, since you have an infinite... Well, they're kunai instead of shurikens, but they call them shurikens. Alright, so here we go. We're the Shinobi, Joe Musashi. I got a POW. Powers me up. But if I get hit, I'll lose the POW. So I don't want to get hit. And the music for this one, also done by Yuzo Koshiro. He did Streets of Rage. So our abilities, we can throw shuriken. If we get up close to something, we have a melee attack. I can jump. At the peak of the jump, I can do a double jump. At the peak of the double jump, I can then throw out all kinds of shuriken. If you were not using the cheat, you'd want to be careful about that because of, I got hit, I lost my POW. Because of how many shuriken you would use if you did that. But if you have infinite, you can just keep doing that forever. I'm getting the shuriken power up. I don't have to. I have infinite. I don't actually need to get those. But, you know, you see a power-up drop, and it's kind of force of habit. Ninjas coming out of the walls. Ninjas will do that. They're known to do that. Oh. Fell in the bamboo. Infinite ninjas coming out of the walls. How many do they have in there? They never run out. That's the mark of a good criminal organization. You have unlimited ninjas. I got. Tried to be a little reckless. Got stabbed on bamboo. Oh, lost my power up immediately. Alright, we made it to the boss. Alright, so here's the boss. He's very tall and a samurai. But we could use our ninja magic. So we have 4 ninja magics. The first one is a lightning shield to protect us from damage. We have fire magic for attacking. We have jumping magic to jump high. And we have explosion magic, in which we kill ourselves to do big damage. We lose a life. Like, we come back together, but we lose a life if we do that. Let's just use the fire magic. Alright, he's changing colors, which means he's getting hurt. Round 2. We're on the cliffs. There's a waterfall. I assume that this is just the shortest route for wherever Joe Musashi is going. That ninja's wings. Alright, it says go. Up. So we have to jump on logs. Now, something that we could use to make this level easier is our jumping magic. Now we can jump high. Let's wait for the bomb to go off. I got bounced. I got bounced again. Heights, the ninja's sworn enemy. I got bounced again? Oh. Well, if I reacted faster, I could have recovered. Bounced again. Getting bounced so many times. Maybe I should just try not to jump. I mean, kind of have to jump. But if I jump, I get bounced. And we don't want that. I'll wait for the next one. Yep. Was that guy there before? Thought I jumped over there. Normally. Alright, let's give it another go. Alright, we're standing here. Alright, killed that guy. That guy's dead. Don't see... see someone right there. Now, doing this constantly would really drain a shuriken if I was not using infinite shuriken. But if you do have infinite shuriken, it's very useful. Alright, it says go up. Gotta jump on these vertical ones now. Alright, we got out. Now we're in the city. And that nun just fell to her death. Mind your step around here, sister. Oh, that wasn't a nun after all. That was an assassin. Can't believe they would do this. Let's go up to the rooftops. Maybe there are less nuns up here. Alright, let's head into the disco. To fight the disco ninja. What better arena is there for a ninja versus ninja fight than the disco? Alright, we did it. Round 3. We're at a military base. And we have a fence right here, and we can jump over it. There's like a background layer. let's see. I believe I can... One of my magics is a shield. We're gonna use that here. Because up here... Do this. Is, there we go. Is another dose of magic. So you usually can only use the magic once per level, but sometimes you can find a refill. And now we're in an airplane. Watch out for the doors, because they will open. And, as mighty of a ninja as Joe Musashi is, he cannot survive falling out of an airplane. I did not mean to use that there. Fingers slipped on the button. It's happening a lot in Streets of Rage, too. Yep, fell out. The game plays very differently from Ninja Gaiden, but I guess one thing they do have in common is that the most common way of dying is getting bounced into a pit or something. Alright, now we get in here. To find the boss of the airplane. That's right. It's a brain in a jar. Gotta shoot it. It's defended by lasers. Yeah, we'll use some fire. I'm sure there must be a faster way of fighting the brain than for it to wait for it to go back in and come back out. I'm unaware of the speedrun method for this, but I'm sure there must be one. Don't know if the brain is controlling the plane, or is the brain being transported on a plane? What dastardly plans would be carried out if the brain was taken to its destination? Probably mad science of some kind. Mad ninja science. You know, many ninja games have the ninjas fighting demons. It doesn't seem like that Joe Musashi is fighting demons in this. He fights enemy ninjas. He fights robots. He fights soldiers with rifles. He fights Spider-Man. It's a varied and eclectic group of enemies that he fights. There we go. Round 4 start. We're at the junkyard. Evil junkyard. Look how evil this junkyard is. Soldiers are here. They've left the military base and have arrived at the junkyard. Made to the end of the junkyard, which of course next is the factory. It's an extremely dangerous factory with conveyor belts and metal blocks falling and soldiers shooting guns at nothing and a hook that moves over molten metal. A dastardly factory indeed. Not jump correctly. Yep. Well, I jumped that time, but I got shot out of the hole. Alright, now for this, we have to get on that falling metal block. Well, I got burned, but we got through anyway. And now we fight the Terminator. I mean, the Spider-Man is copyrighted, but you don't have to copyright it when they don't notice you're using the character. Look, that could be anyone. Doesn't have to be the Terminator. I mean, he's turning green. Maybe that's the Hulk. No, it's just the Terminator. Round 5 start. We are at a fancy building, perhaps. Soldiers are here, too. They're everywhere. No ninjas allowed in the building. The ninjas are only on the roof. And now we're by the highway. This is another level that has foreground and background. When you're in the background, you can get hit by the red cars. Yep. I did a double jump on that last one and went out. If I didn't, I would have fell into the exit. I got hit. Oh, I got hit again. I did so well the first time. I got bumped. Yep, that's... yeah. Should not have double jumped there. And I failed to double jump there. Sometimes you have to hit the jump again at the apex of the jump, and sometimes I'm not getting that. I got hit by a car there. Well, it doesn't seem like... we have a continue, but it doesn't seem like I'm doing any better, so maybe we'll just say that that is... He's laughing. He's laughing. Maybe we'll just say that that's it for Revenge of Shinobi. You know, I don't think we looked at the intro. There is a little bit of an intro that we can see as to why Joe Musashi is doing this. But, yeah, I mean, of the games on this was my favorite of the four. I used to play this quite a bit. Also, it gets very hard by the end. And this game maybe has the most stressful last boss I can think of. Okay, in the year 19XDX, the evil crime syndicate Zed was reduced to rubble by the powers of stealth possessed by the Shinobi master Joe Musashi. It seemed as if the world had returned to peace. But 3 years later, the world was once again swallowed in darkness. Zed had returned with an incredible increase in power, much greater than before. Neo-Zed became the strongest crime organization ever to exist. Ever. After establishing their mighty crime empire, Neo-Zed turned their efforts towards destroying the threat posed by those who possess the powers of stealth. Yes, we used so much stealth in this game. It was all about stealth. And not throwing infinite knives. All of the followers of the powers of stealth were attacked and their chief was killed. The chief, with his dying breath, told Musashi that Naoko, his bride-to-be, had been taken hostage by the Neo-Zed. So to get revenge for his comrades and to bring back Naoko, he's gonna have to do something. Well, yes. So that's Revenge of Shinobi. Used to be able to beat this. I cannot do it now, clearly. That's the fourth of the 4 games. But we might as well take a quick look at the 5th game that came on this disc later. This wasn't the one that I had, but a reissue of this disc sometime later put a 5th game on there, Super Monaco GP. Welcome, Sega Grand Prix. We'll play a race. So, transmission select, B class for beginner, A class, super A class. So beginner is you're not using manual shift. We'll just go with that. Just remind ourselves what the game is like. So I did play this on the Genesis quite a bit as well. It has been a very long time since then. And I do not remember the subtleties of how you play. I used to be able to get first place in the races in this game, but that was a very long time ago. The main thing I remember about this game is that in a race, if you fall behind, you are never catching up. Or at least that's what it felt like. Like, you have to be on the ball the entire race, because if you're not gonna catch up. All right, so we got 9th for the preliminary. Here's an actual race. I hit that car. Alright, starting out, we're in 6th, but the 5th is in sight, so maybe we might be able to catch up. I'm being told I should keep it up. Thank you. Alright, we're in 4th. Big turn coming up. Of course, when it comes to a racing game, the main thing to know is how does the game actually want you to handle curves. Very tight turn coming up here. That felt okay. Oh. I can see in my rearview mirror someone coming up, and I can block them. I can block them. But, second and first place are quite a bit ahead of me, as we can see on the map. It's doubtful I would be able to catch up to them.
Okay, keep it up.
I'm keeping it up. Oh no, here comes two. Two's breaking away from me, though.
Keep it up.
I don't think I handled that turn well, because the guys behind me are catching up and got past. Now I'm in fourth.
It's the final lap.
Now I'm fifth. Just take that one turn poorly,
Hey, keep it
and I
up.
go from third to fifth. We're back in third. Let's see if we can hold it.
Okay, keep it up.
No, I did not handle that curve well. I feel like the CPU can take that turn seemingly without slowing down. And we ended up in fifth. I got 1330 driver's points. I can enter my name if I want. It says my rank is fourth. I don't know why my rank would be fourth. And that's what it says. Oh, third is retired? What? Anyway. There's a career mode, the World Championship, if you wanted to do it, but I mean, I think that's fine. That's enough. Just to look at the 4 and also fifth game for this pack-in. All right, so is it a good pack-in? Yeah, I mean, again, the Sega CD costs $300. They're giving you 6, maybe 7 games with it. Even if 4 of them are Genesis games, which really are not enhanced at all, and in the case of Golden Axe is dehanced for some reason, as it didn't have a second player, which is quite confusing. But you have 2 beat-em-ups, one of them allowing 2 players with Streets of Rage. You have a Falling Blocks puzzle game with columns. You have a really good side-scrolling platformer action game with Revenge of Shinobi. And you have a racing game with Super Monaco GP. It's a pretty good selection. If we're talking about the ranking, let's bring that up. If we're talking about a ranking, where would this go on here? Well, it's kind of an odd thing to think about, because we're not really talking about a Sega CD game, are we? We're talking about 4 or 5 Genesis games that you can play on the Sega CD. But that goes a long way, especially when one of them is Revenge of Shinobi. It does go a long way. There is plenty to play here, especially if you had not had these games on the Genesis before. And, because of that on its own, I think... Because of that on its own... I mean, when you think about it, Solfis. You think about it, Solfis is basically a Genesis game with enhanced music and and anime cutscenes. Because Soldis, the Genesis version, seems like it plays exactly like it, right? It seems like it's the same thing. So if it is the same thing, well, that's really like one game as opposed to 4 or maybe 5. And Solfis would not really last that long. I mean, it has replay value in the sense that it is replay value in the sense that it is a shooter. It's a pretty good shooter. It's not a great shooter. And the arcade collection does have... one advantage it does have over it is that you got a lot to play. You do have a lot to play. And so, I think because of that, we are going to have to say yeah, I think we're going to have to put Sega Classics Arcade Collection at number 1. I mean, it's got Golden Axe, it has Streets of Rage, it has Columns, it has Revenge of Shinobi, it does maybe have Super Monaco GP. So, it's kind of an odd thing to say that a collection of Genesis games that really aren't enhanced would be the number 1 at the moment. But I think I do have to say that's probably the case. I think I do have to say that. But how long can Sega Classics Arcade Collection be number 1? Well, maybe a little while. We've got some fairly bad stuff coming up. So Sega Classics Arcade Collection might just hold on to that for at least a little while. I'm not taking number 1. Just throwing that out there. But this was a pretty lengthy look at this collection, and that would be it for the games that came packed in with my Sega CD. So after this, we're going to be looking at games you could buy at retail following the launch of the system. And so, I mean, these will be games made from the ground up for the Sega CD and using 100% of its capabilities, right? Right? That's how it works. We'll see if that is indeed how it worked as we continue on with this tour of the Sega CD.